I don't really know what I was gonna be talking about this dream from yesterday and just hanging out with Bober because I went to visit her. Why is she looking at me like that, guys? I was just with Bao the past couple days and now I'm home and I feel empty without Bao because Bao is the kind of person where we could just sit next to each other and not say anything. I cannot even begin to describe like the fact that like, okay, so that stream that she and I did together, I think invoked the funniest memes and jokes I've ever seen. Like, I was talking to my dad about this. I was like, Dad, did you see the stream yesterday? He's like, no. I said, you got to see it, Dad. I think that was the greatest stream of our careers ever. Like, that was the stream of our careers. And it was just us fucking around. And he was like, what do you mean? And then I showed him a picture of me holding the cheese next to Ice Spice. And he just kind of like, he didn't have any words, but he said, wow, I guess I'll have to look at that one. And so he's probably going to be watching it later tonight. And he was just like, okay, wow. Yeah, okay. And like I have on my camera roll all of my favorite pictures of me and Bao. I was like, yeah, here's me spanking her. Oh, and this is me holding her as if she's 7 months pregnant. And he's just kind of sitting there and just kind of nodding along. And yeah, I think he's in for a treat. It was a very wholesome experience. I'm still very shocked that a lot of people didn't know I was the one in the rat costume, but I digress. It is what it is. The truth that you and Bao might be a thing. What do you mean? Bao and I have been dating for 5 years. What are you talking about? What? I was just kidding. No, we're not. Well, who knows? No, I'm kidding. I'm dating Michi. Where was it? Was on the Daily Dose of Michi or some shit. With the rat costume. It started there. Rat. Michi, Numi, rat. Found it. Okay.
Also, story about
Okay. Oh, to give context really quick. Yesterday was a stream where Bao and I did a cooking stream together. But this dates back. The start of this dates back. I don't even remember how it started at this point. But I think I just remember. Oh my God. I think it was because Linguini Bao, that stream was last year, I believe. And I think I brought up saying, what if I got a rat costume? And then I flew over and then we did that stream together. And then she said, that'd be really funny. And so I went over to Amazon and then I bought the rat costume and then it made it over to my house. And I think it made it around the time I did my subathon because Buff was the first one to see it. I have to ask Buff if one day she wouldn't mind me sharing it if I like blurred her face or something. But the first picture that originated was me in the rat costume sitting on her lap. And then I took a selfie of the two of us together. And I wanted to share it with Bao, but I decided to keep it a secret from her, like the costume itself, until we did the collab together, which didn't even end up happening until yesterday. So I had this rat costume in my closet for almost a year. It was in my closet for almost a year. And the first time that I brought out the rat costume was when Michi and I were on call together because recently Michi and I have been calling like every couple days, but it was so big. It was so fucking funny. So we were supposed to do that stream, Belle and I, last year because I visited her. Girl, was that like in November or some shit? I think it was November, but we didn't know if I would, quite frankly, survive in Bao's home because I am deathly allergic to cats and she has 3 cats. And when I first went to Bao's house before she moved, I had to stay in the room that had no cats and I still had an allergic reaction. It was nothing too crazy, but I still had an allergic reaction. So we were kind of worried after that. But the first test was when I went over and then we watched a bunch of Arcane together and she introduced me to Arcane. And I sat in a chair next to Tara with a mask on while we were watching Arcane and I didn't have an allergic reaction. So I said, oh my fucking God, if I just wear this mask and I don't go touching the cats because one of the reasons why I have an allergic reaction is because the cats are too fucking cute and I have to pet them. That's the only reason why I do it. But I didn't touch the cats and I didn't have an allergic reaction. So I said, all right, the next time I go over to Bao's house, I'll bring the rat costume. But I mean, I think after it was like last week, I said, you want me to come visit because I'll visit you? And she said, yes, please. And I said, okay. And so then I bought a flight to go visit Bao. Like the flight, I am pretty sure it was a week and a half ago. We were both really fucking sad. And I said, I can come over. And she said, yes, please. And so then I bought a flight to go see her. It was only for a couple days, obviously, but I just wanted to see her. And so I got a really beautifully expensive flight. And then I flew over to see my Bober. And I was going to bring it just in case, but it's obviously like, I'm not going to be like, are we going to do this? Let's fucking do it. But she brought it up and she said, you want to do a stream? And I said, well, I just so happened to have packed my rat costume. And then she said, bet, let's fucking do it. I'm going to dress up as Linguini. And I said, slay, let's do it. Mind you, she hadn't even seen the rat costume by then. You guys didn't even know that I had the rat costume because initially I wasn't even going to show you guys. But Michi and I just wanted to talk about the story because it was like really funny. Let me see, it's this video. Yes. So this is where it started, was right here, the timeline.
Numi. It is a happy story, but the start of it was a little weird. I got basically quite overwhelmed and a lot of shit's been happening, right? And I got a little sad. Not because of anything like super bad, but not sad. I had those like man, kala y'all. You know, like I had that like...
I just want to add, I want Michi to go into my pocket forever and ever. She's just... Ugh. Sometimes the way she like talks about things can happen to her and she says, but you know, I'll get over it eventually. And then I just start tweaking. I'm like, and she says, wow, you get so mad for me. You get more upset than I do. I'm like, well, if you're not going to get upset, I'll be the one that gets upset. Anyways.
Feeling where it's like, I want like big disclaimer.
Good night.
I have really bad abandonment issues, right? You know this. I have never once kept it a secret. I'm working on it. But I have really bad like some issues, you know? So seeing everything going on and everything that's happening, I'm like, oh, I'm scared. I remember talking to you guys. Has nothing to do with the current drama. Like this is...
It's more like it's difficult for her to verbalize how she's feeling. And then she'll talk to me and ask about my thoughts on how she's thinking. And then I will verbalize it for her. And then she would say like, yeah, that's exactly how I like wanted to say it, but like I couldn't say it. And she says, I like how you're able to verbalize things for me. Oh my
Months
God.
before anything happened, I told you guys that I have a hard time making new friends because I don't really think it's like I necessarily need it, but I also don't want to like isolate myself. I just can't really trust people very easily anymore. And chat's like, oh, I mean, it's fair, right? Like I've been through a lot. I've met a lot of people, some good, some bad. And because of that, I like to be even more selective.
Wife or translator, both.
Happening and like, it's not just the situation. It's the situation, and then you get to see what people has to say, and then people, you know, like I feel like recently I see a lot of mask off moment. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Like it just, but you know what I mean. It's like I used to be a VTuber watcher before I was a VTuber. If I wasn't a VTuber and all of this was happening, I think I would be like, I don't really feel like I want to watch VTubers right now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not our proudest moment, right? Like, I'm not saying like everyone is bad. I am very well aware there's amazing people.
Damn, what you talking about?
Now you're kind of like discouraged to really like try? You know, like I'm gonna be very fucking for real. I know that's weird because I'm a VTuber and I'm a streamer too. But if I wasn't a VTuber and I was just purely a VTuber enjoyer, seeing everything that's been going on for the past 2 weeks, I'd be like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, is this VTuber? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about watching VTubers.
She's a cutie patootie yapper.
Right? And that's how I feel, but talking to people instead, where it's like, oh, now I'm kind of like nervous. And it got me feeling kind of down. A lot of shit's been happening as well, IRL. So I've just been feeling a bit like, not too bad, but isolated, weirdly enough. I don't know the right word. Like, it's one of those, like, I dug my hole and this is where I'm at, right?
Me one hole.
But even though I'm safe, quote unquote, like, I'm not really part of anything. I don't experience anything. It's also because I don't really involve myself in anything anyway. So I feel very, like, lost and alone for a little. And I was a bit sad. And then...
You know... I feel like with saying things like that where you don't involve yourself with people, that directly leads to you feeling isolated. Even like the thing about, I don't know, friendships, meeting people, trusting people, having falling outs and stuff, it's all part of life and relationships because things happen, you know? Me and Bao were talking about this the other day, but... Obviously, I'm not going to talk about everything that happened, but like Bao and I had a crazy fight like a month or two. I don't even remember. It was a while back, but we had like our first ever big fight. We've had like little qualms and little things, but we would be fine after just we'd be in the same conversation and then we would argue and then we would get to the end of it. But this was the first time that we ever had a thing where the two of us just kind of said, we need a little bit of space. Said space was less than a day, by the way. It took less than a day before we both were typing saying like, hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Yo, that's so fucking funny when you think about it. It's just when two bitches love each other so much they can't go a day without being mad at each other. Like, it's just like, I mean, like, it's... So Bao and I truly believe that your friendship is gonna last till we're old and wrinkly because anytime we have a problem, we will talk to each other. The thing is, things like that are so uncomfortable. She told me, she worded it so well where I'm the kind of person where I don't mind the uncomfortable conversation because these people mean so much to me that I'm willing to go through any uncomfortable situation if it means rectifying a relationship or coming to terms with something or figuring something out. I don't mind. And in this case, even when we were upset at each other, I knew that we would be fine and we would talk to each other even though the conversation would fucking suck. And lo and behold, it was less than a day before we were messaging. It was so cute, by the way. We were like, yeah, let's just have some space. And then the next day, I was typing my I'm sorry, and then she sent it the same time I was about to send mine. And we were like, oh, it was so... she said hers first, and I said, oh. I said, damn, the way I love you so much, I can't go a day without like just talking to you. And she said, why are we so fucking stupid? And I was like, girl, I don't know. I'm still gonna send you mine anyway. And then we both sent it and then we just... and then we were fine. And then she's like, yeah, that like opened my eyes to a lot of things when we had that. And we were both like, I the comparison I made to our little bleh was, if anybody's seen the movie called Bottoms, it is the scene where the two best friends get in a fight and they don't talk for like a day. And that day where they are depressed, Avril Lavigne's song is playing. Chill out, what you yelling for? And I'm like, yeah, that was us. She's PJ, and then I'm Josie, and then that's how it went. But yeah, great movie. Love that movie. But yeah, I think the main thing is if you don't, those things are so important for healthy relationships. I mean, obviously there are going to be relationships you have where you don't argue or you don't have these things because you're lucky enough to have a relationship where that doesn't happen. But most of the time, you're gonna have moments where you have a little thing where you're like, uh-oh, I'm upset. Time to talk about it. I said, let's talk about this. I will bring it up. If you do something that upsets me, I will almost always bring it up. Which is why a lot of times when things happen, I don't make it public. I don't do anything because I know it can be solved like over DMs and shit, like, or just talking to them in person. because it's always very personal to me. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you can feel a little isolated at times because instead of talking to people about the way that you're feeling, you keep it to yourself. And because of that, you feel even more shit because there's nobody to talk to about how you feel. And so you're just letting it simmer. And then the demons say, hey, I see you're all by yourself. Let me make you feel worse. That's how it goes.
I talked to Numi because at that time I was like, you know, I remember Numi told me it's like if you're ever
The
feeling
fly that rubs their hands together going like, the demons in the corner being like, hey, you're by yourself. Dude, I literally have that with the Noombas all the time. Like, I'll set boundaries with you guys and then like, I'll get mad at you, you'll get mad at me, and then we'll be like, well, let's fucking talk about it. And then we do. And now the community is great.
down and you need
She blames us. Shut the fuck up. Anyways.
someone, you should say something. That's one thing that I have a really hard time doing. I don't like opening up when I'm feeling upset. I always
Yeah, okay, there it is. See? I don't like
open up after I'm done feeling upset.
God, I hate when she does that. Oh.
But I was like, you know what? I feel lonely right now.
Oh, there it is. Boom.
Maybe it's not because
Look at that. The consequences of my own actions.
I'm alone. It's just everything's going on, right?
That
I'll
is what
reach
it
out to Numi. So I was talking to Numi and I was in a call and I was like, yeah, girl, I'm just feeling a little like...
I bet she feels better after we talk. And she's like, wow, I would have never imagined talking to somebody could help. Y'all watch Thunderbolts. That's a good one. Watch Thunderbolts. That'll give you a great lesson in
I
life.
don't know, weirdly like isolated. It's not because of anything that happened. It's just like I feel so scared. You know, it's like I'm scared, I'm anxious, overwhelmed, and all of it
Y'all, this is Thunderbolts in a picture.
kind of boiled down to just I feel lonely right now. And Numi's
Always blaming us, the blobs with no arms or feet. Oh, so you think because you don't have arms and feet, it makes a difference in how you treat me? Interesting.
response to it was to decide to give me a home tour.
W Michi, thank you, Fillion. Or you can, you know, guys, if there's a problem, you can go like the Fillion route and do like a backflip, because that will also work. Like if there was ever a universe where Fillion pissed me off, she would just do a backflip, and then I'd be like, yeah, I forgive you.
She literally decided to just turn on her camera, walked around her house, and she introduced me to like her roommates and everything. And she's just like, look, this is my thing. This is like, she's like, she doesn't even talk about it. She just talks about what she has in her home. And I was like, oh, wait, what's that? Oh, wait, what's that? And then she showed me around. And then at the end of it, she puts her phone on like the desk. And she's like,
oh, I put it on the giant Noomba, by the way. I was like, yeah, this is Benson, the giant beanbag chair. And she was like, oh, okay.
do you want to see something cool? And I'm like, sure. She puts her phone on the desk. Like, I'm looking at the wall, right? And then she flips the camera. Like, after 5 minutes, she flips the camera. And Numi was standing there, head to toe, in a rat outfit. Not a cute rat outfit. Like, it's one of the ugliest rat suits I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, she's in a fursuit, but a shameful version of what it is.
Damn.
And it's so ugly.
Oh.
Like, she's just standing there.
Well, I didn't know it was that
Like, she has,
bad.
like, her head is covered by, like, a rat mask.
Oh.
Everything, like, her hands were, like, stuck on, like, a rat hand. Everything. She's like a rat. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, do you like it? Like, she wasn't even doing... She was just standing there, and she's like, ta-da! Do you like it? And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I thought that you'd like to see my rat outfit. I was like, that's a nice rat outfit. And she's like, yeah, look what I can do. And then she starts, like, dancing. And then she starts playing the guitar in a rat suit. And, like, she keeps, like, looking down, right? Because, like, the fucking massive, ugly rat head is covering her face. So she keeps,
do you
like,
like it,
going
baby
this, and she's
girl?
like, like, she can't breathe. And I'm like, girl, you good? And she's like, oh, yeah, this is how I breathe. You see me? Like, you see that? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? My hair! What the hell? I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I genuinely did have a good laugh. And
The
then
way
I
you
felt
even
better.
make content
Like, we didn't
offline.
even talk about how I felt. I thought, like, one of my scariest things, even though I was ready to do it, I was scared that, like, if Numi asked me how I feel and why, I don't know if I could put it into words. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I know why I'm sad, but I don't know why I was sad at the time. But I would have tried, you know? But she didn't. She's just like, you good? I'm like, not really. And she's like, yeah, okay, check it. And then check it. Then she fucking turns into Remy. That's it. Like, I was so prepared on her being like interrogationing, right? No, she just fucking decided to face reveal, I'm Remy, bitch. And then that's it.
I feel like whenever people are upset, I don't want to brag or anything, but this is something that they teach you about in communication classes. You assess the situation. But I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to tell when somebody wants to talk about something or they don't. Like if they want to talk about it, they will tell you for the most part. And if she just wanted to hang out, I would do that. If she wanted to talk about it, she would talk about it. She would talk about it a little bit, but then if she doesn't want to talk about it, I'd be like, you want to see me like try to do a backflip like that? You want to see me in a rat costume? That's you do what you can to make sure those you love are okay. But after this, we both talked about this story. I didn't realize that many people knew about this story though, aside from like maybe our fandoms or whatever. But after this, a lot of people already knew that I had the rat costume. And initially, I wasn't going to talk about it or have her like say like, I was gonna be like, yeah, don't bring it up. But I just thought it was a funny story because it was really silly. And I already knew that I was gonna be seeing Bao and bringing the rat costume. I didn't know if we were gonna stream with it, but I just knew that when I saw Bao, I was gonna surprise her with the look of it and then show it to you guys. So it was already on the agenda. And so that happened. And that is also why a lot of people were commenting about Michi with the rat costume. But after that, it led to me doing the stream with Bao. And I just wanted to say, it was funny to see comments all around, but one of the funniest parts of this shit was people saying, dude, this is staged as fuck. Obviously it's staged. The fuck do you mean? Not all of it was with the beginning part though. So let me show you what I mean. Here it is. Yeah, so that was not scripted, by the way. So this is how we had it planned. So we went to the store and then we bought this cheese together. And I said, how are we gonna introduce me? And she said, okay, I can talk about there being a rat infestation or something, and then you can come up behind me and then grab the cheese, and then I would shoot you with the Nerf gun. So that was the initial plan. But I told her, I said, have you seen me in the rat costume yet? And she said, no. And I said, okay, don't turn around or look anywhere until I come up behind you. So her reaction was her genuine first reaction to me in the rat costume. So she tried to like go on with the bit, but her initial reaction, she was looking at me so you couldn't see, but she looked so fucking scared, but she brought it back right away and was able to continue with the bit afterwards. But she actually fucking jumped. That was real. That her jump scare was actually real. I asked her afterwards, I said like, I know you were screaming and shit and hit me with the broom, but were you actually shocked and scared by the outfit? She actually didn't hear me coming up behind her, so that jump scared her. And the fact that the rat looked that fucking ugly scared the shit out of her too. So.
Seen the aftermath, and my cats are fucking useless. They never catch it.
And
either.
I just showed up.
I don't even know. I don't know. What is the best way to catch it? I guess I could leave like some cheese out and see if like maybe it would like be able to be caught.
Look at the way her wig
way.
bounces. That's how you know she was
really
actually scared.
There's the rat! There's the fucking rat!
And I didn't expect her to pull out the broom because I thought she was gonna shoot me with the Nerf gun. So I see her pull up with the fucking broom. I was like, oh my God, she gonna beat my ass. She was, oh my God.
Get the broom!
I didn't expect that strong of a reaction either.
Fucking kill it! Oh shit! Oh my God! Oh, why didn't you tell me, Chad? It's right behind me. It's taking my cheese.
Kapchi, you like the rat? You like that?
It's so fucking hideous, bro. I can't. What are your thoughts? Well,
Broom is the best weapon in Asia. That's not even the broom, though. That is not the broom that's the best weapon. We all know. Southeast Asia, we all know which broom I'm talking about.
you are so much different than my good friend Remy.
You thought it was gonna be patchy and shit? Nah, man, nah.
Dude,
I was just sitting on the stairs and then Jojo was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is... So where I was sitting on the staircase, just waiting for my cue. And then Jojo's her cat. He comes up and the way that he was like, meow, 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 meow. He was just meowing so loud and he was so fucking horrified that he jumped onto this cat tower to just get a better look at the top part of the rat suit, just looking at this part, and just wouldn't stop meowing. Mind you, this cat usually does not yap like that, and it just kept staring at me, and he was so scared, and that's why I was just patiently waiting, but I thought he was actually gonna jump and attack me because I don't think he knew I was inside the rat costume. So that's why I was like, Bow, hurry up. I think I'm gonna get beat the fuck up. Thought I got eaten by some monster. Have I seen the rat thirst traps on Reddit? I have not yet. Now, I expected like, you know, some of the editors to make little edits of it, but I did not expect so many people to actually thirst over the fucking rat costume, and not in a joking way. What's going on? What's happening here? There was so many good memes too. Oh my god, wait, let me see. Can I open this one? Wait. Kaiser made a great video of it. Wait. So my favorite meme picture that was taken was the one that I posted on my Twitter, obviously, which was this one. Fantastic. Toma, what in the fever dream? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'm allergic to cats. Yeah, and then this was the selfie that we took on the stream. And then it was this one.
Shit! A rat! There's a rat! There's a motherfucking rat!
There's a motherfucking rat!
There's a motherfucking rat! I'm gonna whoop your ass! I'm gonna whoop your ass! I'm gonna whoop your ass!
Why is...
Big ass rat!
Hey, yeah. Oh! Dude, that was so... Kaiser's so funny, bro.